Hello everyone, this is Qiuvox and my birds as well. They are tweeting all day long. In this video I will show you my latest PvP setup for the Stamina Nightblade in Lost Depths DLC, and if you are ready, give thumbs up, subscribe, and we just go into the setup itself. We will start off first with the character sheet and see the attributes. In here we have 64 into health just to reach maximum health of 30k, and our maximum stam is 25.8k and 13k maximum stamina with 21 3400 maximum stamina recovery. I'm sorry about it. And we have nearly 7000 physical penetration and 4.4k weapon damage with 15% weapon crit, which is quite cool. Also, we are using the stam recovery Mundus, which I will come into the alternates as well later on the video. And we are vampire stage 3 or up the whole time. And we do use lava food and as well as immunity potions and movement speed potions. So also this gives health, but it doesn't give you stam or magicka. You can also use a tri-stat potions, but in my case it is being having the unstoppable buff on yourself and being immune to knockback and disabling effects in a fight where you need is awesome. So you can use lava food or you can use some other foods if you are lacking some magicka or something like that. So I just wanted to put 64 into health because I don't wanted to use the golden food, and not because it's expensive, it's because it is reducing the stam stuff, like the stamina buffs and stuff. So I don't want it to reduce my stamina because this is already good. And as a race, we are Khajiit, getting health recovery, stam and magic recovery, max health, magic and stamina, and also crit damage and crit healing, and decrease your detection radius in stealth by 3 meters. So this is completely kind of a ganker build-ish setup, so think about it. About the gear that we are using, also we are using the poison, but it is not really necessary. I just wanted to get rid of my poison for quite a while, and I'm having too much poison on me, so I just wanted to get rid of them. For that reason I have 2 times dealing poison damage on the front bar, and on the back bar there is nothing. So the front bar is the great sword of the Essence Thief with a sharpened trait, cause you need a penetration a little bit more. What the item set does is giving you 2 times max stamina and weapon and spell damage, and dealing damage with a light or heavy attack draws essence from the enemy that pulls near them for 5 seconds. And when you go inside you get health, you restore stamina and increase your damage done by 10% for 10 seconds, and this will only work every 10 seconds. And this is basically how it looks. When you are on the front, you just light or heavy attack and you draw the essence, and as you can see you just go inside and you get the Essence Thief buff for 10 seconds, as well as some resources, health and stamina, and 10% damage done. So this is very good gear that I've been thinking about doing a video for it, and also tested out too. It is this going to go away. So this is the Essence Thief with where is that? 1 leg in pan with max stamina, on the front bar great sword and 2 jewelry. So necklace and the ring of essence thief. One of the rings are infused with the weapon damage, the other one is robust, and my mythic is marking. It's a bloodthirsty just to help me a little bit and get a little bit weapon damage while they are closer to execute, because the execution skill from the two-handed is just insane. And when they are in the execute, basically you just put the executioner and they are just gonna melt through because of the bloodthirsty. You can either use Swift in there on 3 of them if you want, if you like to run away too much and not using the shade, of course you can do it. Or you can go all infused or all bloodthirsty and just keep playing like that as well. So our mythic is the marking. You probably know what it does. So it is giving you weapon and spell damage and armor for every set you are wearing at least 3 piece or more. On the front bar we have 200 weapon and spell damage and 2314 armor. On the back bar it should be the same because the setup itself created like that, so it's the same buff that you're getting from the marking right here. On our back bar we have the crafted set of armor master with infused on the berserker glyph to get a weapon and spell damage when you light attack. 2 item max out, 3 and 4 item armor. And on the 5th, while you have an armor ability slotted, your max out increased by 5%. And when you use that, your physical and spell resistances is increased by nearly 6000 for 10 seconds, which we do use the shuffle here. So it will increase the resistances that we have. So this is the bow, first of all. And we have one chest in medium with impan and max stun. And we have hands, the small piece again impan with max stun, and the feet impan with max stun for crit resistance, so you definitely need it. Our belt also is medium. You can basically use impan or well fitted as much as you like, however you like. You can put just well fitted and move on with the trainee, just get a 1.4k max out. It is quite good, and because there's nothing that you can do in that setup other than trainee. So the shoulder and monster set is helmet and shoulder is medium armor as well. They are Balorg. Head is well fitted, shoulder is well fitted, and the waist should be well fitted too, but I don't have the transmutation stone, so I'm using the training. It is giving you weapon and spell damage, and when you use the ultimate, it is just giving you tons of weapon and spell damage and physical and spell penetration equal to 23 times of the amount that you use the ultimate, which is crazy. You will reach like 25-30k penetrations at the max, or maybe more even. So Balorg is just for nuking purposes. You're just going to impan them through and then just destroy the people for basically 12 seconds. You are dealing very high damage through that set, and this is the setup that I'm using. So well fitted is quite useful because it is reducing the cost of the dodge roll, and you can basically dodge roll too many times, and 3 well fitted should be enough. And you know, like, you don't need more because you also need crit resistance too. And in most of the PvP situations that you can't exactly use the champion points, etc. So me personally, I'm a battleground player, I like Battlegrounds more than Cyrodiil. Well fitted really helps to the setup. It's really touching the setup itself. So if you don't want to use the poison, you can just remove it. Then on the front bar, you should use the Oblivion damage glyph. So as long as the enemy that has high maximum health pool, it is going to deal up to nearly 5000 Oblivion damage, and as you know, the Oblivion damage is not resistible, so this is very good glyph. Then the next step, our next step, is the skills. On the front bar, we have the shadow image just to put it and get away from the situation, because you can teleport it to that even if you are like this, for example. You can just teleport there and just make some stuff and gets you out of the critical moments, and you can also hide it too, and it does a little bit damage, and it is up 40 in 2 seconds, which is crazy. Relentless focus, every time you do light or heavy attack, it is gonna give you weapon and spell damage, maximum of 5 times, and when you reach the 5 times, it will hit disease damage and heals you if you are in a melee range, which is 7 meters. And it is just a nuke thing. If you do a little bit damage to the enemy, and you have the Merciless Resolve Spectral Arrow proc, and when you just hit it, they are going to melt, because it is insane damage. The third skill is from the two-handed rally. It is giving you Major Brutality, increasing your weapon damage by 20% and giving you stam recovery by 15% for 20 seconds too. And also, you heal for 4000 when the skill ends, and final heal increased by 15% every 1 second up to a maximum of 300,000. So you can just put the rally up, and if you need heal, you can just press it back again, or just let it go through more, and as much as the skill goes closer to the time run out, it is going to give you way more heal. So this is how the rally works. Of course, there's some tricks to increase the healing from it, which I will come to it very soon. And our fourth skill is basically the Executioner. Our execution skill from the two-handed, dealing 5k physical damage and deals up to 400% more damage to enemies with less than 50% health. This is your execution. I did use Killer Blade and stuff, but it doesn't work if the enemy's health above 25, and yeah, you need Executioner. It is just way to go, and it always work very good. And the next skill, our spammable, is a surprise attack. It does 8.8k physical damage, and plus it is applying the standard status effect on the enemy, which is kinda damage over time ish and some stuff. And if you strike an enemy from their flank, you set them off balance. This attack will also be guaranteed to be critical strike every 4 seconds. It's talking about the flank. If you are behind it, it is going to always be a critical strike. So let's say that tree is the enemy and it is facing towards its shadow, and you are at the behind. This is flank, and this is also flank, considered as flank too. Our ultimate is obviously in cap. It is giving you huge buff. You deal 20% more damage after you use on the enemy, hitting 13.6k disease damage, reducing their healing received, and if you cast with 120 ultimate or more, the enemy will get stunned for 3 seconds, and when you put this on to your bar, you get 100 magicka and stamina when you deal damage with a light or heavy attack, an enemy with a negative effect active on them. For example, the surprise attack does the standard status effect, and while you have the incap on your front bar, you basically gonna get 100 magic and stamina each time you light attack to the sundered enemy, and this is quite good. On our back bar, in this Lost Depths patch, I just wanted to mention how beautiful they made the Nightblade back again. Alright, so this is mass hysteria. Most people ignores that and don't want to use it. It is making people cover in a radius of 6 meters for 5 seconds, and it afflict them with major cowardice for 12 seconds, reducing their weapon and spell damage by 430. So back in the day, just before that patch, the mass hysteria was a very bad skill, and for years and years we were not using it. But now everything has changed with that skill. So when you press this, before you were not able to do anything but watch the animation of it. But now you can just basically animation cancel it like this. Like this, you can just animation cancel it through, and this is insane. It is nearly like in the old days, I would say, and very powerful. And shuffle, it is decreasing the damage from AoE attacks by 20%, and each piece of medium armor worn removes and grants immunity to snares and immobilizations for 1 second, which also necessary for you to proc the armor master set that we are wearing. And the vigor is 18k health over 5 seconds, and it is also giving you minor resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistances by 3000 for 20 seconds, so you don't basically need to run blur to get the buff. And another skill is the leeching strikes. Your light and heavy attacks heals you for 1.5k health and restores you 106 stamina for 20 seconds. And if you do heavy attack, it is gonna give you the double of the amount, the values. And when the skill ends, basically when the skill ends, you're gonna get 4.2k stamina back. And this is huge. Also, the cost is 825 stamina, as you can see right here, and this is literally nothing. And the last skill is Shadowy Disguise. Cloak yourself for 3 seconds, and your next direct damage attack used within 3 seconds will always be a crit strike. So, for example, if you are using the Shadow Cloak, you should heal yourself while you are in the cloak, because it is going to be always a crit, or vigor, it will be a crit healing. As you can see, those are the beefy numbers, and this is very good. Also the rally as well. So if we cloak and rally again, 12k just in a second. So if we do it again, 9k. So this is very good stuff. Always just use the shadowy cloak and heal through and do some stuff, and also as much as you can cloak, just basically do it the whole time, because it's very powerful. As an ultimate, I'm using the Soul Siphon just an emergency, and to get the passives, basically, like here, maximum magicka, healing done, you know, because all of our healings are on the back bar except the rally, and you are getting huge numbers on the vigor as well through the shadowy disguise. So this is why Soul Siphon is there, and it is healing you very good, 10k health and additional 30k health over 4 seconds. And you get major vitality, increasing your healing receipt by 16%. An ally can target the enemy, dealing 10,000 magic damage to them and healing themselves for the damage caused. This is good ulti, but you will probably don't touch it because you need to use the incap on the front bar the whole time. About the champion points, well, since I am a battleground player, alright, I don't mess up with the CPs too much, but for you, I just created something that you should see. So on the blue one we have Backstabber, 10% crit damage done, 8% crit damage and critical healing done through the Fighting Finesse CP. And we have Deadly Aim, increase your damage done with single target attacks by 6%, increase your damage done with direct damage attacks by 6% as well from the Master Terms. And you can use the Wrathful Strikes too, but it is going to, you know, it is like a give or take. If you don't want to use one of the CPs that I show you, you can run Wrathful Strikes. It will give you around 200 weapon and spell damage to your damaging abilities, not the healing. And you sacrifice a little bit healing or one of those buffs that you get from Backstabber, Fighting Finesse, Deadly Aim or Master Arms, basically. I would keep this on if you are playing in Cyro. On the red one we have Rejuvenation for recovery, 90 health, magic and stam recovery. Fortified, 1731 armor, it is quite good. And the Survival Instinct, it is just reducing your class abilities by 25% cost reduction. And in here we have a Sustained by Suffering. When you are under the negative effects you get a 150 health, magic and stam recovery. So you need recovery on the setup. I mean, we do have good stats, 2134 stam recovery and very bad magic recovery. If you ask me, it's like 800. You can't exactly spam as you are going to spam your stam skills, but they are still enough just to make you shadow or this and then cloak and then, you know, back again, etc., and then put another shadow image and then cloak, etc., and you need a little bit time. So in that time you need to deal damage, basically use it and then cloak away that kind of stuff. So you still have enough magicka. It is just a very situational. I did play it a couple of battlegrounds which I will show you as well and in this video, and also I will do the uncut battleground video as a separate video from this, so you can actually see how the build works. And okay, about the rotations, you should always keep Rally, Merciless Resolve and Shuffle and Leeching up the whole time because they have like a 20-second cooldown anyways, and you just go for the enemy. And always try to place your shadow image. If you are going into a combat, you see 2-3 people down there, just put the shadow image there, go fight, etc., blah blah, and then when you need to run, if you are low on health and if you needed to run away, or you just kill them and new ones are coming from far, sorry, you just do the cloak and then a shadow image and then the cloak, then just run away. So also the reason that I'm using bow is for the expedition, so you can just one time dodge roll, cloak and then just go away quite fast with that. What's going on there? If you are short on health and you need a healing, just go to this cloak, rally and then vigor. So this is the combination of your healing and you probably will be at the maximum health as long as they don't clock you out from it, and you should be basically in a cloak. So as I said, if the rally ends, 13k health, as you can see, just cloak, rally, and the vigor. Vigor will put you out of the cloak. You can see it is putting you out of the cloak, just to be sure. And if there's a lot of people and they are not CC immunity state, you should mass hysteria them. Then they will have their weapon and damage reduced by 430, and you basically kinda making yourself a little bit more tanky by this. As much as you have 5 stacks of the Merciless Resolve, just proc it down on the enemy and drop it. And try to use the in-cap first if you think that you are going to kill the enemy. Like, let's say we come here, surprise attack, and I think I'm gonna kill this, and it is off balance. Light attack, in-cap, get this Essence Thief, and then just execute through. And this is how it should do, how it should be done with the thing. And Leeching Strikes is quite important. You can use the other morph of it to get a Magicka if you think you are good with stamina, and you can use the other morph to get the Magicka for yourself from your light and heavy attacks, or when the skill ends, basically. And I believe this is the setup itself. Just you can freely try to use the execution on the enemy, by the way. The enemy doesn't exactly have to be around or below 25% health. Of course not above 50, but let's say, alright, I guess I hit very hard to it. Let's find another guy, right here for example. So, he's around 40, and then just light attack and execute. Even in PvE, I've seen the numbers of the execute that hits with this setup around like 50k, 60k. So it is like a triple amount of the damage you deal less on the PvP, or 50%, like double. And it will still hit like a truck. It is very powerful to use it here. And if the enemy cannot go away from the execution, alright, you should spam the execution, like literally spam the execution on the enemy until they die, because they will try to heal while we are dealing more damage. So this is how the execution works. But the Killer Blade you just basically cannot do with the Killer Blade. And this is the bow proc. Nice one. There we go. So I'll leave you with the gameplay of the setup, and just see a little bit. Yeah, 61k. Yeah, it is hitting very hard, by the way. When you have Essence Thief on, it is hitting very hard. The most important thing in the build itself is taking the Essence Thief from the ground. You may say, what are you doing, Qiuvox, with the Essence Thief and chasing down a little rune on the ground? But this is very much visible, as you can see. And I'm just searching an enemy right now, but alright, just here. It is very much visible in the fight. You just go inside and get the buff, you get the stamina, and you get the healing, and this is very good, alright? So it is dealing, giving you very huge buffs. That's just crazy buff, and this is very easy to get it. You can even get the Essence Thief while it is on its way to go to, let's say, you can see yeah, like it is very close, always very close, and you are getting it quite fast, so you don't need to worry about, oh, can I use the Essence Thief properly in the combat or not? Yes, you sure can. You definitely can use it. You just need to maybe a little bit get used to how the essence thief works basically, but you'll be just fine with that. Um, so I leave you with the gameplay of the setup in the battlegrounds, and subscribe and thumbs up and comment below what you think about it, and see you guys on the next video. Have fun, take care of yourself.